What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel for another 1/6 scale figure video. Today I'm really excited to say that I'm reviving a pretty old series from my channel, and that is Copper Flop. I never thought I would do these videos again, guys, to be honest with you, because a lot of people do these, and it just felt like a little bit repetitive when so many videos came out. Especially also, I do my weekly live stream, so I already talk about this stuff. But lately, I've been contemplating it, and I'm like, you know what? Some people actually don't watch my live streams and or the live stream replays, and they just watch me for the long-form content. So I'm like, why not? Every once in a while, when a really special figure comes about, like this Kaustic Plastik Frankenstein's monster, let's make a video of it and let's talk about it. I really could not contain my excitement because I'm just so overjoyed with how this prototype looks. So with that being said, let's get right into it. We're going to try to do this raw, no cutting, because that's how I like to do it. So anyways, guys, the prototype is officially here. We have the pre-orders are now live for the Frankenstein's monster by Kaustic Plastik. This is a 1/6 scale figure, obviously. And this is Boris Karloff, the legendary Boris Karloff as Frankenstein's monster. And I got to be honest with you guys, I could not be more excited and more happy with how this is looking. I'll zoom in a little bit. I started with a photo that was kind of closer up on the face. You do have the rolling eyeballs now from Kaustic Plastik. That is a newer feature for them, and that is very exciting to me. Obviously, you could see here the eyes are adjusted kind of to the side, and I think that's such a great, iconic look for this character. Really, really great looking paint apps as well. You could see all the details here in the forehead and the flesh, the hair, just everything about it. The paint apps, everything looks fantastic. I believe this sculpt and the hands and everything were done by Rocco the sculptor. So shout out to Rocco. You've really outdone yourself, my friend. If you guys don't see Boris Karloff in this head sculpt, I don't know what to tell you. I think this is spot on, and I really could not be more happy with what I'm seeing here. Also, I'd like to pay close attention to the material choice here on the coat. I think it looks great. The weathering around the lapel area, and you'll see it all throughout the outfit as well as we go through these photos. That little like side-eyed look is just so good. It's so iconic. And again, I just really am overjoyed by how this head sculpt turned out. It looks perfect in my opinion. I know nothing's perfect, but in my head, I'm like, this is perfect. Just a really great looking figure, guys. I mean, this is probably, to be honest with you, part of the reason I'm making this video is this is one of the most exciting 1/6 scale figures for me in a long time. And if properly executed, it may be one of the best for me because I'm a big fan of not only horror, but especially classic horror, classic Universal horror. And these Universal monsters are just so iconic. And these actors like Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi and Lon Chaney Jr., it's just so special to have figures of them, and companies like Kaustic, and I think Sideshow is going to be doing figures as well. I'm personally sticking with Kaustic, but it's just great to see in 2025 the exciting stuff that we're getting. Here's a shot of him, kind of a more full body shot of him with the shackles on. The hand choice is amazing. I love, again, just like the Nosferatu, for example, that they went with the seamless forearms. I just think that adds so much realism. And again, the paint apps are fantastic. The weathering, you could see all over the pants. There's a bit of weathering here and there just to add to that realism. And it just looks great. The way they have the eyes adjusted here with that dead stare. I love the expression. Let's talk about the expression. Would it have been cool to maybe have like a slightly smirking sculpt? Like when Frankenstein's monster is intrigued and he's trying to learn? Of course. But if you were to only choose one, this is the perfect expression to go with. Again, I could not be more happy with the head sculpt. And also with the sculpting of the hands. I think they made some great expressions there with the hands combined with the head sculpt. I just think it looks awesome. Speaking of looking awesome, how great does this look kind of photoshopped with that classic black and white look? Because obviously these films were in black and white. I believe Boris Karloff was in 3 films as Frankenstein's monster. This looks amazing. Obviously, a lot of people always ask, are you going to do a black and white version? I think for making the most amount of money and pleasing most people, probably not the best idea. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't put their money where their mouth is with that. But of course, if you're into toy photography, you could edit your photos very easy and put them in black and white as they've done here. And that just looks amazing. That's just so, so classic and so iconic. Just a really great looking figure. The one that we're taking a look at now, there are 3 versions. This is the standard edition here. You can see, I'll scroll down here a little bit so you can see it better. These are all the extra hands included with the set. Again, really nice expressive hands. You have that classic Kaustic Plastik style display base with the magnets in it and that gold font there on the front. Very classy looking. If you're not going with the highest of high versions, I still think it's going to be a great display, whether you have the diorama piece or not. Just a really fantastic looking figure, guys. I'm really over the moon about this. I cannot be more excited for this. I think the prototype is basically nearly perfect. Like I said earlier, I don't like to throw that around, but they've obviously done their homework on this one. I know for a fact that Kaustic, they're all true fans. Fabio always talks about how much of a fan he is. I know he has tattoos of some of the classic Universal monsters, so trust me when I say the utmost love and care is put into this figure, and it shows. It really does. And again, I could not be more excited. Such an iconic photo here, too. I love that they included those hands to recreate this pose. Again, just a beautiful figure. I think there's, that's about it for the photos, excuse me. You can see they're mentioning the weathering. Some people kind of complain that that's not really a feature, but on this, guys, it looks great, so I'm glad that they mention it. I love the marketing materials from Kaustic. They're always very easy to read, very nicely laid out. I love that they show everything that comes with the standard edition. Speaking of the editions, let's jump over to the deluxe version, which is the mid-tier. When you jump up to the deluxe version, you can see everything included in the deluxe here. Again, really nicely listed out. Obviously, you do get that wooden chair when he's sat there shackled with the shackles. That'll look really nice. You have that little piece there on this wall diorama where you can kind of set it all up like he's shackled down in the chair. A really, really great looking display. I'm sure it's going to be so special to see in person. I love the weathering here on the wall, that kind of grime from maybe water trickling down over the years in Dr. Frankenstein's castle, the cracks in the wall. This is embedded with magnets as well, and I could tell you from personal experience, I have multiple dioramas from Kaustic Plastik. The magnets are incredible. I've never had any issues with the standard bases or the diorama bases. They all hold the figure extremely well, much better than InArt in my opinion. InArt has gotten better, but trust me when I say Kaustic, they've got it down. I have no complaints about their magnets whatsoever. But yeah, this really just adds to that realism. There's some more shots there, by the way, of the base itself. Of course, we want to see Frankenstein's monster on the base. There you can see him seated there in the chair. Again, the hand choice just really adds to the options when it comes to displaying. I love what they've done with the hands. There's the chair kind of by itself. Here he is sitting in the chair, kind of a more full-on shot there. What a great, great looking diorama setup there. I will show you also, of course, the other version after this, and that actually comes with an extra diorama piece, which is really cool. You can see they're mentioning the separate rolling eyeballs. That's kind of becoming the standard, which I love to see that because that really adds to the posability and the different scenes you could put these figures in. And for a character like this, I think it's kind of essential. So I'm really glad that Kaustic has adopted that. You can see here they're kind of talking about the height of the figure. There's another thing I wanted to point out here. This right here. So you can see they've even gone to specially design the knees to kind of get that signature kind of forward lean that Frankenstein's monster had. I think that's so clever, and I think, and I'll back it out here, and I think it just really, again, is spot on. It really is. You can see it's standing perfectly fine, but it has that iconic posture, and it just looks great, and I just love that they point that out as a detail because that's something that might be usually overlooked without mentioning, so really, really cool that they've gone that far with the attention to detail. Again, you could just tell these guys are really big fans of these movies, and it really does show with this figure. I could not be more happy. Even standing up there with the shackles, what a great look. I just really am imagining this figure in my display right now, and I'm thinking to myself, I can't wait this long. I don't want to wait to get this figure in my collection. But that's about it for the deluxe edition. As you can see, that's everything included. You saw it all itemized as well. What a great looking set. I will show you guys pricing towards the end. We'll go over to Kaustic's website and take a look at pricing as well. Let's take a look at the exclusive version though. So as you can see, you get a whole extra diorama piece with that doorway, and I think that looks amazing. I have that doorway piece for the Nosferatu, and it just adds so much character to the display, and there's so many different things you could do. Obviously, you can have Frankenstein's monster kind of busting through the door. You can open it up, as you'll see here. They kind of combine the dioramas to make a whole scene. But of course, that is exclusive to this set. Also, I think limited to 200, you can get a t-shirt with this set if purchased directly from Kaustic Plastik. You cannot get that anywhere else. I have a lot of their t-shirts for these exclusive versions. They're all fantastic. They're really nicely printed, and I think it's a really cool, nice extra piece. I don't know if this will be offered anywhere else. It says exclusive. It doesn't say web exclusive. I believe typically it'll say web exclusive if you can only get it from Kaustic Plastik's website directly. Obviously, in the coming days when it goes up on Sideshow and Big Pad, we'll know more. But as of right now, It's only available through Caustic Plastik's website. For those who are curious, don't go looking anywhere else because it's probably not available yet. But as you can see, it has everything listed out here. Typically, when you get these like limited 200 versions, they do have a special box for the exclusive version. Also, a hand-numbered portion on the box, which I love. So I'm sure they'll continue that with this one. I cannot wait to see that. But yeah, the extra piece you get with this one is just that diorama doorway and obviously the t-shirt. But overall, what a great set. I cannot wait to show you the photos with everything all together. So you can see, that's what I was talking about, kind of like having a combination of the two bases. There's a shot of him kind of in between sitting in the chair, and I think that's a really great way to display it. Here he is standing in front of the diorama. Again, just so realistic looking. Let's see. Where's that photo of them kind of combined where it's through the doorway? Let's see. Sorry, there it is right there. I love this right here. I think this looks awesome. Let me zoom in on that. That is a great way to display it. Fabio said this is actually the largest diorama that they've done yet, I guess, as a whole with these two parts. And you can kind of tell it's going to take up a lot of depth in your display. But, man, what a great look there. Kind of utilizing most of the stuff that comes with the set. It just looks awesome. I mentioned earlier you can kind of have them busting through the doorway, which is a great look. Just you really can't go wrong. And I feel like if you're really a massive fan of this, it's hard to say no to the exclusive set. But maybe you'll say no when you see the price. We're going to jump over to Caustic's website before we close out the video. So I have everything filtered by USD. By default, guys, when you go on their website, because they are based in Italy, it will be in euros. Also included in the price when you're looking at it in euros is VAT and everything, which we don't pay here in the US. But as you look at the prices, guys, I think the $275 base price is very good. I will mention you do get charged shipping when you get invoiced for the figure when it releases. So if you see free shipping anywhere, as far as I understand, that is just for like local areas to Caustic Plastik. That's not for the U.S. I've always had to pay shipping from them. And the diorama pieces, they can get kind of expensive because the box is very large. But I think the last figure I got from them arrived in 2 days through DHL, which is amazing. From Italy to the U.S. in 2 days, you really cannot beat that. And the shipping was like a bit over $80. That was for the whole like Trinity diorama display setup. But it was well worth it. And to get it that fast kind of justifies the pricing, in my opinion. As you jump up to the deluxe version, you are looking at $400 again before shipping. A bit pricey, but kind of on par with what you normally would spend with them. As you jump to the exclusive, though, this is the one that a lot of people, not a lot of people, I should say, some people had issues with the pricing. Me personally, guys, for what you get, it really is not that bad. You're getting two massive diorama pieces, that chair, all of the other accessories included in the previous versions. I know Fabio, he mentioned he doesn't make that much off of this, not as much as you would think, and it's not a cheap license. So, guys, you got to keep that in mind. If you want to go big or go home, you're going to have to pay for it. And I really don't think it's an awful price considering how much it actually comes with. I know this figure probably was not cheap to develop either because it's so spot on. Clearly, the attention to detail is there. And yes, so you're going to be spending $600 if you want the best version. Another thing I want to mention that's really cool, and they've been doing this recently, especially with the Trinity figure, that I just mentioned. You could buy that Sheriff jail cell diorama separately. You could do the same for this one, which is really cool. So you can buy both separately. Obviously, to me, it makes the most sense price-wise to just go all out if you want both dioramas. Or if you just want one or the other, you could just get this doorway and maybe use it for something else. But yeah, pretty cool, guys. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Again, I might not do these all the time, but for something that's more exciting, I will definitely be doing these here and there, just because I think I just cannot contain my excitement, and I'd like more people to hear my thoughts on stuff who would like to hear it. So anyways, let me know what you guys think of this video and this figure in the comments down below. Are you going to be picking this one up? I don't have a discount code, but 6 Scale Mafia Anthony does. So if you want to save on this, I think it's code MAFIA, gets you 10% off of your purchase. I don't know if it applies to the entire purchase. I kind of ran through a test run and it took it off of the deposit, which you can see here displayed on the screen for each. But I don't know if it'll take it off of the overall value. But either way, you're saving a nice chunk of change there. So use that code MAFIA, save yourself some money. But yeah, happy buying. See ya.